This video describes my terrible experience with buying products made by Germany or companies controlled by German masqueraders in the United States, which exposes their evils and why no one should buy them. Hello friends, this is Unmasked Truth with Harmanjit Saini, where I provide unique analysis of world events based on the unmasked truth that after surrender, Germany continued World War II clandestinely and became a killing machine. I also provide true news that you will find nowhere else. Germany is known for its technical prowess, but their national character is succinctly explained in the biblical book of Nahum the prophet. God says of the Germans in Nahum 3 verses 1 and 19, "Woe to the bloody city," using Assyria's capital, ancient Nineveh, as a representation of Assyria, whose modern descendants are Germans. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departs not. Here are four characteristics of the Germans very precisely identified. They are given to much bloodshed in the world. They are liars through and through. They are wholly given to robbing other people. They are always preying on or victimizing some people or the other at all times. Then verse 19, "Upon whom has not your wickedness passed continually?" This prophecy tells us that in the end time no people on earth will escape their evil. In Nahum 1 verse 14, God says of Germany, "You are vile." When God calls the Germans evil, we should expect their evil to be manifested in the products they manufacture and sell around the world. Incidentally, they have taught the Chinese also to practice the same evil, which I'll also briefly mention at the end of the video. Here are some of the experiences I and the world have had with German products that clearly demonstrate their evil nature in the products they manufacture and their sales and marketing practices. The most famous of the German product scandals is the Volkswagen emissions scandal of September 2014, in which the US Environmental Protection Agency charged Volkswagen Group of violating the US Clean Air Act by intentionally programming diesel engines to activate emission controls during regulatory laboratory testing, which kept the oxides of nitrogen emissions within US standards, whereas in real world driving, the emissions were 40 times higher. In its marketing campaigns, Volkswagen described the diesel engines as being as clean as or cleaner than US and Californian standards while providing good fuel economy and performance. That is, the best performance in all worlds. As a result, Volkswagen received subsidies and tax exemptions for being classified as a green car. The software device to defeat emission standards was deployed in about 11 million cars worldwide and in about 500,000 cars in the United States in the model years from 2009 to 2015. According to some estimates, by June 1, 2020, the cost of the emission scandal to the Volkswagen Group had reached $33.3 billion in fines, penalties, and financial settlements and buyback costs. Other legal actions in the United States and European Union are still ongoing. This scandal illustrates a pattern of lying by German manufacturers. If they find a dire human need for a remedy for some ailment, they will develop a product and will make false claims for the product that it cures the particular disease or causes the symptoms to disappear, while in reality the product may offer no such real benefits. Examples would be allergy or headache medicines or vitamins and supplements. You can never trust a German product to provide the benefits it claims, and it may simply be a placebo to fleece your money. I mean to say, you can never trust means maybe in a few cases they do provide the benefits, but you can never trust it to do so. Uh, 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 even if it does not provide the benefits, they will claim it does. German evil even goes beyond manufacturing and selling products that may not provide any benefits, but they also develop and manufacture products to specifically destroy the health of users. cause diseases leading to pain and suffering. Several examples will follow. Because of this lack of trust, I simply will not waste my money on buying any German products. The Volkswagen emission scandal has caused real harm to the environment, contributing to health problems and more deaths due to excess pollution than would otherwise have resulted. I have an example from India which demonstrates how the Germans teach their deceptive methods to their business partners in other countries. In India, the German tire manufacturer Continental AG collaborated with the Indian business house, the Modi Group, to manufacture tires in India under the Modi Continental Tire brand name. To establish itself in the Indian market, the company manufactured tires with an additional tread so that the market recognized the company's tires as very strong. During this period, the company made huge losses. After the reputation of the company's tires was established, the company then started manufacturing tires with one less tread layer than the normal number of layers. The company recovered its losses and began making huge profits. Subsequently, customers caught onto the company's deceptive practices and suffered irreparable damage, and the company suffered irreparable damage to its reputation in India and began making losses. The company was sold to the German collaborator Continental AG, but operations remained suspended. Another German masquerader invention is the proxy brush, also called interdental cleaner. It is a small brush used to clean between teeth. I used the brush for many years and noticed that the gap between my teeth had increased. My dentist took new x rays of my teeth and informed me that I had very little enamel left on my teeth. I immediately recognized that the cause was the proxy brush. I immediately stopped using it, and as a result, the gap between the teeth has reduced. This is an example of Germans inventing products designed to deliberately harm the health of users of those products. Now, only recently I learned that the $93 billion American company Johnson and Johnson is now probably under the control of German masqueraders. It has been manufacturing and marketing products for decades that actually cause the health of consumers to deteriorate. I have bought and used those products for nearly 2 decades, but only recently realized how much harm they cause to the health of users. Now, Johnson and Johnson has been sued by many women for the use of its talcum powder and baby powder products. Here is some information about the lawsuits from the Morgan and Morgan law firm website on the issue. Since 1971, that is 1971, more than 51 years ago, more than 20 studies have linked talc powder to ovarian cancer, and in 2003, an analysis of 16 of these studies found that women using talcum powder were 33% more likely to develop ovarian cancer. It has been alleged that Johnson and Johnson, the maker of popular talc-based products, knew about the ovarian cancer risk since at least 1982, but failed to warn women using these products. In addition, recently unearthed information reported by the New York Times showed that Johnson and Johnson knew of the possible link of asbestos, a well-known human carcinogen, to their talc products. According to the article, the company spent decades trying to keep this negative information from reaching the public. In lawsuits filed by individual women against the company, they have been awarded compensation ranging from $29 million to $72 million. Then in July 2018, 22 women who developed ovarian cancer in Missouri accused Johnson and Johnson of failing to warn them about risks associated with the use of its baby and body powders, and were awarded $4.7 billion in punitive and compensatory damages. Many other lawsuits are pending. Law firm's website provides additional information about the terrible conduct of the company, as well as officials at the Food and Drug Administration who must have been German masqueraders and in cahoots with the company. Among new information uncovered last year are hundreds of pages of memos that indicate Johnson & Johnson's baby powder could potentially be contaminated with asbestos. Executives from as early as 1971 have stated concerns about trace amounts of asbestos in their products and that the company should no longer assume that their talc mines were asbestos free. In one finding, Johnson & Johnson demanded that the government block negative findings from the public. The company eventually won assurances from an official of the Food and Drug Administration stating that the information would only be issued over my dead body. Yes, the talcum powder was also sold as baby powder. We don't know how the health of babies will be affected as they grow up. The company stopped sale of all its talc-based powders since May 2020, but is still liable for the damage its products have caused. With proven evil intentions of the company's management in the talcum powder case, I would like to discuss my experiences with two more products from the company that point to similar intent. First is the Johnson & Johnson baby oil, which is a mineral oil derived from petroleum hydrocarbons. About 27 years ago, my body began to change and my digestive system was no longer able to process and digest fats and oils. As a result, I began to experience very dry skin. The small quantity of oil found in whole grains I consumed was barely enough to keep my skin lubricated. Hence, other cells in my body, which need fats and oils to keep the body and internal organs supple, were being starved of this nutrition. Some of the symptoms were frequent trips to the bathroom, blood vessels in the mouth bursting, as well as stomach capacity being reduced. To deal with this problem, I started massaging my body with natural vegetable oils. That allowed the small quantity of oils in whole grains to be used for other cells in the body, and the symptoms of frequent trips to the bathroom, blood vessels in the mouth bursting went away, and I could eat the same amount of food at a meal as previously. However, too much vegetable oils and grease washed off the body due to bathing clog up the drains in the home. Then someone recommended that I use mineral oil or baby oil as it also seals in the moisture and keeps the skin lubricated. So I switched to the best, Johnson & Johnson baby oil or other generic versions, and used it for a decade and a half. I did clog up the drains less. However, it was not as effective in lubricating the skin as is vegetable oil. Recently, I started thinking about my use of mineral oil for massaging. I realized that as medicine patches applied to the skin allow the medicine to be absorbed into the body through the skin, the same happens with oil applied to the skin. That realization stunned me. I was applying an unnatural petroleum based substance to my body, which was then being absorbed into it. It can only be harmful to my body, with only a slight benefit of keeping the skin lubricated. And Johnson & Johnson was selling it to be applied on bodies of babies. Then I realized how diabolically evil this company really is. It deliberately manufactures products designed to cause harm to humans starting from the time they're infants and babies. German masqueraders leave no stone unturned to destroy other people. They've been responsible for 30 to 40 million abortions of white babies of non German descent in America. And those that have been born, they try to harm them by developing and marketing products for them deliberately designed to harm human health or even death. When I realized the harm that an unnatural petroleum based substance absorbed into the bloodstream could cause, after more than a decade and a half, I switched back to vegetable oil. To avoid it clogging up the drains after I massage my body vigorously so that most of the oil is absorbed into the skin, I don't have a shower immediately afterward. I just wipe off excess oil with a towel and let the rest be absorbed into the body through the skin almost completely. As a result, when I have a shower a day later, Very little of it enters into drains. I will be returning or throwing away the last bottle still in my possession. Now, more than 20 years ago, my gums had deteriorated considerably. I was then advised to start using Listerine as it stops gum disease caused by bacteria. I immediately bought a bottle, but after using it for 3 4 days, I realized that I could not use it any longer because it stopped progression of gum disease caused by bacteria. While it stopped progression of gum disease caused by bacteria, the mouthwash was so strong that it dissolved soft gum tissue. I discontinued its use immediately and instead bought Crest mouthwash. Crest mouthwash has zero alcohol and does not harm gum tissue and is very effective in halting the progression of gum disease caused by bacteria. I also tried Crest whitening mouthwash and found it very effective in reducing buildup of stains on the teeth. I've tried Colgate mouthwash and it too was effective in halting the progression of gum disease and did not dissolve the gum soft tissue. My conclusion, I believe Johnson and Johnson has deliberately developed Listerine with chemicals that corrode gums. That has been my experience. Therefore, I can no longer recommend the use of Listerine mouthwash because I no longer trust J&J and believe the company is engaged in developing products that harm consumer health. Though the company developed zero alcohol Listerine mouthwash later, I no longer trust the company and have stopped using the product and will throw away the two-thirds of the bottle remaining in my bathroom cabinet and never buy it again. I hope the company is investigated for the harm its baby oil and Listerine mouthwash may have caused and held liable. With three major products developed by the company that seriously harm human health and the history behind the development as uncovered in the talcum powder lawsuits, I believe this company, controlled by German masqueraders, has been engaged in deliberately developing and selling products over the past 51 years designed to seriously harm human health. In 1971, company management knew that its talcum powder could potentially cause harm to human health. I will never buy their products and recommend that no one else should. This is the story with J&J Consumer Products. No one knows what horrors may be caused by the medicines. My recommendation is to simply not buy products manufactured by Johnson and Johnson, any other German company, or any company controlled by German masqueraders. Now, Germans have had an alliance with the Chinese since the late 1950s. They have also taught them to practice the same evils. Chinese have deliberately manufactured and sold products in the United States, and I am quite certain in other countries as well, designed to slowly kill or harm people. Examples include manufacturing toys with lead paint on them that harm the health of children, causing learning disabilities, defective drywall that causes mold, leading to sickness and causing hundreds of thousands of dollars in losses to each of the families who came to own the homes because they can no longer live in them. Tainted drugs designed to cause death, consumer products such as toothpaste contaminated with known carcinogens, tainted pet food that caused the death of pets, and of course adulterated food imported from China. German masqueraders conduct elaborate campaigns to promote the use of products that harm human health and reduce life expectancy. The campaigns are made very effective by using doctors as pitchmen. For example, many fad diets are promoted in the United States. One particularly harmful companion, in my opinion, is to encourage the consumption of more fats and oil. While consumption of certain amounts of fats and oils is essential to good health, some doctors claim that good fats and oils should be a large, some even say major portion of a person's diet. Thus, they promote an unbalanced diet. The truth is that all the food substances, fats, and oils are the hardest to digest. If a person switches to a diet heavier in fats and oils, He will wear out his digestive system quicker, reducing his lifespan. In addition, an unbalanced diet leads to more diseases. Now, there is a deep lesson in all this for nations in the world. We know how the Germans have used their businesses set up in countries against whom they fought wars. They have picked out favorite ethnic groups, made a deal with them to enrich them if they work to destroy, including murder, people of other ethnic groups. If German masqueraders lived in those countries, such as in all white countries of Europe and North America, they worked to make them rich. But to demonstrate that they were indeed of German ancestry, they had to meet the hurdle qualification of murdering an adult and a child among native citizens. Then they were forced to use abortions in the hundreds of thousands, and in Russia's case, more than 100 million. The Germans have amply demonstrated their evil nature, therefore, no country should allow German businesses to enter their country or buy German products because they have provided ample evidence that they will deliberately design products to harm the health, cause diseases, and even kill the users. They are people that no nation should allow to come near its citizens. Please take this warning seriously for your own safety and well-being. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please continue to watch my videos and read my articles on important world events, World War III watch, politics, international business, advice on health and medical problems, and much more for in-depth and insightful analysis. Please also subscribe to my YouTube and Facebook channels Unmasked Truth with Harmanjit Saini to view and get information on the latest videos. Some people do not have the time to go through the full length of videos. They find it more convenient to read the text of the video. Unfortunately, YouTube does not provide the facility to make the text of my videos available on YouTube. But fortunately, Facebook does provide that facility. So I make the text of my videos available on my Facebook channel, which you can also easily copy.